Hello and welcome to Free Space to Derelict.
After the successful strike against the cruisers orbiting Sirius 12, the Shevans began to move. Fearing the worst, we allocated our heaviest armaments to defend the inhabited worlds, led by the GVD Nextbet. All non-essential personnel were evacuated from spaceborne installations, and planetary defenses were placed on highest alert. When the Shevans came, we would put up a hell of a fight. But they never did. The Shevans were moving, to be sure, but the same systematic tactics we saw nearly 4 decades ago were nowhere to be seen. The GVD Kefrem and GTD Ignatius continued their search. It seemed the hand of destruction had spared Sirius, if only for the moment. That hope was short-lived. Less than an hour ago, the Shevans materialized near the Castellan shipyards, stationed adjacent to the Sirius Deneb jump node. The evacuation of the shipyard was still in progress under the direction of the GTD Guardia. The SD Azatoth appeared first, crippling the destroyer almost immediately. The rest of the Shevans followed, and while many of our people fought valiantly to cover the escape of shipyard personnel, I am afraid to report that casualties are in the thousands. That having been said, this could have been much worse. The SD Narlithtep and her fleet are now somewhere in the Deneb system. The Kefrem and the Ignatius are moving to coordinate their efforts to pursue the Shevan advance, while aid and rescue efforts continue in the wreckage of the Castellan shipyards. Welcome to Deneb, pilot. I hope that your next visit will be under more pleasant circumstances.
Yeah, let's be honest, our visits are often not under the most pleasant of circumstances. Just saying.
Following what, for all accounts, was a massacre at the Castellan shipyards, a number of vessels did manage to flee to safety. Several have made it to safe zones within Sirius, but another group of ships fled through the jump node into Deneb. We have just received a distress call from the GTCV Epicurus, a corvette escorting a handful of ships, including 2 medical cruisers, assigned to evacuate the Castellan crews. After arriving in Deneb, they made a secondary jump, only to find themselves in trouble. The Epicurus herself sustained heavy damage in the escape. Her jump engines are presently offline, and life support is failing. Her crew is moving to abandon her until such time as the corvette can be towed back to safety. She has deployed sentry guns and a transmitter, along with safety codes to deter pirate salvage. However, our more pressing concern is the GTM Tellus, one of the medical cruisers that also made an escape. The Tellus' jump drive overloaded as the group fled the shipyard. Like the Epicurus, she is dead in space. However, the damage to her jump drive is not as severe as the corvette, and it can be repaired with one of our crews. This is important, given that the number of escapees on board is more than can be handled with our available rescue craft. Due to our recent arrival in system, we are the nearest unattached unit that can oversee the rescue effort. Alpha, you are to fly cover for the crews as they evacuate the Epicurus and repair the systems aboard the Tellus. The Shevans are present in Deneb, but we still do not know their location. Delta Wing is on standby for reinforcements, if you need them. Good luck, pilot, and let's make sure that the casualties at the Castellan shipyards are kept to a minimum.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's all we can really look for, isn't it? Anyway, weaponry. 2 Promethei and a bunch of harpoons. Yeah, you know what? That's perfectly fine with me.
Very Epicurus, moving to dock. Hope you have your bags ready.
All do ready, Grace. We have deployed the sentry guns and are ready to abandon ship.
Alpha, now that you're here, we're gonna get Graham back to safety. You're in good hands, Tellus.
Thanks, Corian. See you at the rendezvous. Good to see you, Alpha.
This is the Lori May requesting permission to dock, Talus.
Granted, Lori May. The sooner we get this done, the better.
Is everyone alright in there? Tell us. Epicurus? Sounds like you had quite a fight.
It wasn't a fight. It was a mess. The Zugans went through us like we weren't even there. It seemed like we were just in the way. They had us there to right, but we didn't seem to care.
Welcome to our world, Epicurus. Ever since the Derelict showed up in South Sigma, we've just been in the way.
Alpha, we've docked with the Talus. Our engineering crews are on their way to the engine room.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, we're docked. Alpha, watch our backs while we load everybody on. It's gonna be a tight fit.
Don't mind me, just flying around for fun.
Good God, the Aerostat just jumped in. She's about 45 clicks out.
Looks like the whole party's there. Damn it, we're not ready to clear out yet.
Alpha, secure your engines. Everybody, cut power, play dead. We're going to make a hasty exit.
Play dead? You want us to drop our plans and moon these bastards?
They seem to lock onto power fluctuations. They've probably already noticed it. Bake like space junk and float.
Alright, but they so much as look at me sideways and I'm putting a harpoon in their tailpipe.
Maggie, we put a spark in it. It's gonna get us all killed.
Why? They can't hear us. We're on the tight beam low power transmission. Damn, there's the Winger fighters. Hold your breath. Maybe they want to see us.
Just shut up, pilot, and let them think we're space junk.
Yeah, with my engines firing like this, sure, I look like space junk. Oh, there they are. Extraordinarily hard to see. Unless that wasn't them. Oh, it's them up there? Oh, yep, there they are. My mistake, I got that wrong. Well, it's tense. You've got me mildly holding my breath.
I don't like this. They're getting close.
How close until they detect that we're not dead in the water? Well, the turrets are firing at them, if that's not a dead giveaway.
So someone forgot to shut off the sentry guns? Good move, people. Do you think they've noticed?
They'll know in a moment.
I'm not willing to wait that long. Grace, Lori May, we're going to have company. Pull up your stakes and get out of there.
We've almost got it. We're doing a quick bypass that should give us a short jump out of this area.
So should I guess we'll start fighting? Yeah, okay, we'll start fighting. Destroy Cancer Ring.
Looks like the party's over. They've noticed us. Come on, let's get them before they call for reinforcements.
Well, I guess the ambush was successful. Well, I guess
Pulling
let's...
away now, Alpha. Just keep those fighters off our backs.
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Just get moving. Come on then. Hello, puppet. There we are. And finally... There is one more, but you know. Okay, good job, good job. I could tell them to break to attack, that'll help them actually fight things off. But the problem is I'm worried about them trying to run out there for no reason. Sorry, I'm also trying to avoid missiles, that's why I keep spinning. Well, not spinning, but you know.
Alpha, the Gray, Lori May, and Tellus have all made it out of the system. Get out of there while you still can.
Oh, is this a case of my friends leaving me? Oh, it is, isn't it? I see it. No, I hear it, I hear it. Yeah, okay, my friends just left me, you dicks! Ooh.
We weren't expecting this kind of a firefight, Alpha. However, both the Tellus and the crew from the Epicurus managed to escape. It seems that the Shivans jumped into the area, not in pursuit, but by coincidence. Luckily, your playing dead ruse worked, even if only for a few moments. We're tracking the Narlithotep and its accompanying armada as we speak, and hope to implement a plan of action within the day. Be prepared to be called back up for duty at any moment.
Alright then. So yeah, the Narlithotep just coincidentally managed to land on top of us. Skeptical.
10 days ago, the SD Narlithotep opened a stable jump corridor between the Tau Sigma and Sirius systems. While the GTVA Science Corps had known about this corridor previously, it was then far too unstable to travel safely. It appears that the Narlithotep stabilized the corridor somehow. Our top subspace physicists are still trying to work out how the Shivan destroyer achieved this. The potential for such a technology, should we be able to replicate it, is enormous, more so even than the technology of the Knossos portal.
Oh. So the Knossos wouldn't even compare to this.
The majority of the Shivan battle group has since moved out of Sirius and through Deneb into Vega. They have not stopped to pursue any targets of opportunity, unless they stood in the path of their relentless advance, as the shipyards in Sirius did. Fortunately, the personnel and the photon artillery prototype under development there were successfully evacuated before the shipyard was destroyed. While most of the Shivan capital ships have moved on to Vega, the Ravana-class destroyer Azatoth and several smaller vessels remain in Deneb. We must now attempt to flush them out. The arrival of the Shivans has brought an interesting phenomenon to light. It seems that the Narlithotep is still broadcasting some kind of signal to all Shivan vessels, which it has been postulated the Shivan vessels in the Phi Eridani stellar gas cloud homed in on. The signal has also been picked up by a Rakshasa-class cruiser that the GTVI captured during the Second Great War. After analyzing the behavior of the Shivans, Dr. James Sheridan, an eminent scientist in the field of Shivan research, believes that we can lure the Shivans into a trap, using the cruiser as bait. With any luck, the Shivans will attempt to rescue their stricken cruiser, and thus open themselves up to attack. The instrument of their destruction will be the GTVX Gorgon cannon, the most powerful defensive weapon ever constructed by the GTVA Science Corps. An extract of Dr. Sheridan's report on the Gorgon cannon follows.
Oh?
A standard Meson bomb detonates without focus and spreads its massive destructive power in a large spherical area. By stripping out and modifying a Zephyrus-class vessel, It can be used to focus the Meson charge into a coherent beam with incredible destructive potential. While the cannon is fragile and unstable, no vessel of destroyer class or below can withstand the power that it unleashes. We're going to be putting this to the test soon. Report to mission briefing, pilots.
Oh! So it's a Meson bomb beam cannon. That is amazing. I love it. I want to see this thing in action. I'm just imagining,
Command
like...
has authorized the deployment of the GTVX Gorgon experimental cannon for this operation. As you've heard, the cannon focuses the energy released during a Meson reaction into a coherent beam. Although the beam is powerful, the cannon itself has a low damage threshold. It is for this reason that we are deploying a considerable defensive force to protect the Gorgon. You're part of that force, Alpha Wing. The Gorgon will be defended by Alpha and Delta Wings, and the cruisers GTC Hyperion and the GVCV Jilva. Due to the importance of this mission, you will be permitted to carry the UD-8 Kaiser cannon, our most powerful primary cannon. Bear in mind that while your primary objective will be to protect the Gorgon cannon, we would like the cruisers back in one piece, if at all possible. We have more fronts than just this one to fight on, and we need every capital ship we can get. The Rakshasa-class cruiser, SC Nodens, captured by GTVI during the Second Great War, has been deployed approximately 2 kilometers from the Gorgon cannon. Despite being crewless, its computers continue to respond to the Shivan signal. Our engineers stripped the cruiser of most of its weapons and engine assembly long ago. This will at least prevent the Shivans from using the vessel against us, or any autopilot taking over and forcing the cruiser to depart. Instead, the Shivans will have to come and get the cruiser themselves. Our captured cruiser has already attracted some Shivan attention. While only fighters have yet arrived, heavier support is sure to follow soon. The Shivans have attacked all GTVA vessels nearby, so it will be the job of Alpha and Delta to intercept any incoming fighters or bombers. Vessels attacking the Gorgon are to be given top priority. Everything else can take care of itself. If or when we lure the Shivan capital ships out of hiding, the GTVX Gorgon will handle them. The initiation sequence for a sustained blast from the cannon is considerable, and your wings will be expected to fend off the Shivans until then. Don't engage the Shivan capital ships, and don't get caught in the Gorgon's beam. The effects will be permanent, to say the least.
Yeah, I heard.
The instability of the Gorgon must be constantly compensated for to prevent a critical overload of the cannon's main reaction chambers and power regulators. It is for this reason that the cannon must be manned, however dangerous this may be. Defend the cannon at all costs, Alpha. The 23 technicians and scientists on board will be counting on you to get them through this. Get down to the loading bays, Alpha. It's time to bag ourselves some Shivans.
So scientists are going to be firing a beam weapon. Lovely, this is like a great idea. Also Sheridan's Gambit. Is that meant to be in reference to John Sheridan? Can but guess. Let's get a pair of Kaisars though, or Kaisars. Kaiser? Whatever. I don't want tornadoes. Do we have access to the trebuchet? Yes, there we go. That'll do. That'll do nicely. 1 or 2. I think I'll stick with 1 and 1.
Wow, that's quite a sight, isn't it?
We don't have time for sightseeing, Alpha 3. Engage Gemini Wing before Shivan reinforcements arrive.
Come on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. It's one hell of a sight though. There we are. Ugh. Don't mind me, I'm just being a bad aim right now.
Gemini Wing neutralized. Heads up, pilots. More Shevens are inbound.
I think we can do with a bit less power into guns. Ooh. Well, as long as I got the research somewhere else for this, also bloody hell. Come on. There we are. Just a few more to go.
People are ripping us apart. Do something. Pronto.
How are they ripping you apart?
That's the last of the basilics.
Picking up a new Stephen contact. It's the SD Chalganon. Kane class.
Neutralize the fighters, Alpha. Borg in control. Prepare for test fire.
Affirmative. Prepare to fire at 25% power. Stay out of the way, Alpha.
Yeah, I would not like to get hit by that.
Yeah, same. Oh no, it's dragons. Here be dancing with dragons. It's fine. Didn't like my shields anyway.
Firing now.
I want to watch this. Well, there she goes. Oof, ouch.
Oh, that was 25 power.
That's a rock, Alpha 2. Looks like you have the Meson flow regulation nailed as well.
Wow. Imagine if we could get the now altitude from that thing.
Huh. Yeah, imagine. For all we know, it might be happening soon, so let's just hope that it holds together. You skittish little... It's fine, relax. Come on. I'll never catch him if I get 10s and angry, so I need to relax. And nail him whenever I can. I hate fighting dragons, seriously. The enemy's like 6 times more agile than you, these bloody dragons. Sometimes though, they do make mistakes, like flying in a straight line, away from you. And that's when I get happy. It's like, yay! There we go. Oh.
No time to rest easy. We've got the Hemus and Nephilim on the vector to attack the Jovea.
Engage those bombers. We cannot afford to lose the cannon's defense force.
Indeed we cannot. Break to attack, I guess. I can't do anything while you're stuck behind there. Ah, come on! I can't get that. Oh no! Oh, that's a lot of bombers, like a lot. I need to dump power into guns. Way too much power, but that'll do. Not the best use of a missile, I guess, but you know, if needs must. Everyone actually defend that in particular. Hopefully that means you'll grab some of those bombs. Oh no. Eek. No, no. Ooh, the shockwaves. They're making it just hard to pilot, that's all. Ah! No!
I think we're gonna run out of ammo before we run out of targets here.
Yeah, they're definitely determined to deal with us. Oh my god, they've even actually brought in loads more. Oh, this is just wonderful. It's about to fall now. Can I just suggest that you get out of here? You're absolutely no use to us now, right now. I would just pull the Jilva out now.
Next, sheep and fighters incoming. Moving to engage.
Okay, move to engage, move to engage.
Pilots, Leo Wing has entered the area and is attacking the Gorgon. Stop them before they do any serious damage.
Leo Wang, alright. There we are. And back onto Capricorn.
Phew. That was a close one. Thanks for covering our backs, pilot.
No problem whatsoever. I would like to get the Jilva out of here though, with the Hyperion. Right, now unfortunately seems that only the Hyperion is going to make it out.
A Shivan Azrael transport has arrived and is attempting to dock with the SC Noden.
Stop that ship, pilot. If the Shivans board the Nodens, our ruse will be uncovered.
We'll take a spot in. Alpha 1, target the transport now.
Come on.
ST Demos neutralized. Good. The Shivans remain unaware of our trap.
We also managed to scan it just before we destroyed it, so you know, yeah, maybe that'll give me bonus brownie points or something. Oh, she's so badly hurt.
Oh my god. Command, the SD Azathoth has entered the area. Request immediate status update.
Yeah, guy, can you come a little bit quicker, please? Hi. Let's get this over with.
Let's talk. Let's move on. We don't just want to put still. We're all dead.
Target the Azathoth and open fire. ASAP control.
Gorgon control, do not fire. Without a full core preparation, you're risking reactor breach.
Open fire. Maximum power.
If you don't do it now, we're all dead anyway. Fire the damn cannon.
You say we're all dead, but ooh-wee! Ooh-wee!
That's it. We did it. We actually... Wait. I'm reading points again.
The Gorgon cannon has been destroyed. The Shevans have been cleared from the area. There's nothing more we can do here. Return to base.
Well! If that is not a powerful weapon, what is? Holy cow! Well, we've got a new weapon at our disposal. It's just kind of a one-shot dead kind of weapon. Holy cow, though!
The arrival of the SD Azathoth was unexpected and caught our forces off guard. We had not expected to lure such a vessel into the area. It was only thanks to the quick action of the crew of the GTVX Gorgon cannon that we were able to eliminate the Sheevan destroyer. It is the first major victory we can claim. However, this victory comes at a price. The GVCV Jilva was annihilated by the Azathoth, and the crew of the Gorgon cannon were killed in a Meson containment breach that destroyed the cannon. The loss of the prototype may be a blow, but it is the loss of life that is most terrible. The GTC Hyperion survived this engagement and will now assist in strikes on the Sheevan fleet elsewhere, bolstering our offensive capability. Captain Jacobson of the Hyperion thanks the 212 for defending his vessel. I'm afraid that there's no time to rest. A GTVA strike force has run into serious trouble in Vega, and you will be deployed ASAP to assist. Get ready for some more action, pilots.
And with that, I'll leave it there. So until next time, all the best, and I hope you enjoyed.